The United States Senator is standing by, Josh Mandel. Oh, wait, that might be a little premature, Josh. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Hey, Trev. How you doing?
Where are you, Josh?
I'm here in Cleveland. We actually have Chris Christie in Cleveland with us today, governor in New Jersey. He's the kind of guy who knows how to shake things up, and so he came in to help us out today.
You going to be speaking anywhere tonight?
We are. We're going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mayfield Village. We got a few hundred people who are coming to hear me speak and Governor Christie and talk about taking our country and steering it in a much better direction. And if any of your listeners want to come, they can come there. It's 7 o'clock tonight at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mayfield Village.
That's right on Wilson Mills, right?
It is, yeah, right on Wilson Mills, right off the freeway there, right at 271.
Yeah, so that's 7 o'clock tonight, the Hilton Garden Inn in Mayfield Heights on Wilson Mills and 271 there. There's still room for people to get in?
There is still room if people want to come in. Anyone listening, we'll take walk-ups at the door. I mean, we got hundreds of people coming, but we got the ballroom there, so we have room to put people in there, and we'll have a dinner, and I'll be speaking, and then Chris Christie is going to talk about how he busted some heads there in the state government of New Jersey and shake things up and made some good changes there.
What will Josh Mandel be talking about tonight?
I'm going to be talking about fixing Ohio and fixing America. You know, we've lost over 500,000 jobs over the past decade here in our state. We've lost 3,500 factories, and in my mind, it's unacceptable. And we need a new breed of leaders in Washington, folks who look a little different, sound a little different, feel a little different, who are willing to stand up to political bosses on both the Democratic side and the Republican side to do the right thing for our country. And as you know, Trev, I'm a Marine vet, did a couple tours in Iraq, and I'm not going to get pushed around by anyone in Washington who's been there for 30 or 40 years.
Josh, you know, I brought this up many times on the air, and it's funny you bring it up today. You know, I'm a little older than you. And
just a little.
Yeah, and when I got out of high school, there were so many jobs available, whether it was at a factory, Lincoln Electric, LTV Steel, the Plain Dealer, the railroad, where without being highly educated, you could go from high school right into a job, I would say the equivalent of making about $50,000, $60,000 a year today. With benefits. Those jobs today are not available in the United States of America. And to me, because no matter how much you preach, no matter how much any politician, any church leader, any organizer preaches or parent, we are not going to educate 100% of our kids through college educations, I should say, okay? There has to be other types of jobs where you can get it and still raise a family and not make minimum wage. You follow what I'm saying, Josh? Those jobs are gone.
Trev, you hit the nail on the head. I actually spoke at a manufacturing group about 2 weeks ago, and I talked about exactly what you're saying. It's okay for young people in this country not to go to college. If you're good making things with your hands, if you're good working with your hands, you want to work machinery and make something, that's a good thing. We should put people to work in manufacturing. And somewhere along the line, it became somehow that everyone had to go to college. That doesn't have to be America. America is a place where if you want to go and run a machine, work in a factory, make something with your hands, make products, that's important. And it's not only important for our economy, but I'll tell you this, I think it's important for our national security as well. Because if we turn into a country that's just a call center, we turn into a country that just is just a service economy, we're going to get weaker long term. And I think in order to maintain our strength long term as a state and a country, we got to make things. And God forbid down the road we need to go to places like China or Mexico to get steel to make tanks or guns for our military. That'll be a bad place to be. And so I agree with you. We got to put shop class back in high schools. You know, I'm sick and tired of hearing the high schools cutting shop class. We can put shop class back in high schools, and we got to have more young people working in vocational jobs and making things with their hands.
Whatever happened to trade schools?
It's a good question, Triv. It's a real good question. I actually have someone standing here with me who's from the Youngstown area, and he and I have talked in the past about what's going on in Youngstown and the importance of trying to put more of that vocational training in there and getting more manufacturing jobs there. And we have this opportunity now, actually, with some of this oil and gas drilling. You weren't expecting this. Let me pass the phone off one second, Triv. This is someone who's a friend of yours wants to say hello.
All right.
Hey, Triv.
Who's this?
We go from our next senator in the state of Ohio to your favorite ex-Browns quarterback.
Bernie!
How you doing?
What the hell you doing with Josh Mandel?
Well, since his days at Beechwood, me and him have been friends, and since he was number 19 when he was quarterbacking in his high school days, pre the Iraq War days. We've been friends for quite a few years.
I'll be damned. I didn't know you were with Josh. Are you going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mayfield Heights tonight with him?
I'm with him right now. He can't get away from me. He's the only one. He's the only one that's not asking me about the 4th pick in the draft.
Yes. I was just going to say, who are we taking with the 4th pick, Bernie? You have any idea?
Well, you know what? One of the things about that is there's so many rumors. You saw the Philadelphia rumor today that Andy Reid at number 15 was calling the Browns. There's a lot of interest and a lot of teams that like that 4th pick. And if somebody does what Mike Shanahan did with St. Louis and wanting RG3 and giving up all his picks, I think with the hard salary cap, there's a lot of interest now in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th pick. So I think anything could happen right now, and you have to listen and have to entertain a lot of those offers.
Yeah. Bernie, to go political with you here, you're with Josh Mandel. He's running against Sherrod Brown for United States Senator. Josh has some very good ideas. Would you agree?
Oh, Josh has some great ideas, and again, I've tried to keep in my life. I've tried to stick with sports and staying with the football thing. But there's come certain times in all of our lives when you've met people and you meet people who know that are generally good guys, genuine guys, and care about not only our country but our area. And bringing manufacturing jobs, bringing work back to our area, working with kids, just a simplistic idea like shop classes in high school where kids have vocational training to be able to be productive and make our own things. It's just fantastic stuff. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Bernie. I mean, the more jobs we have in this country where somebody can make an affordable living without going to college for 27 years, okay? Because not everybody is going to go to college, no matter how much you preach. You need jobs that are available so people can raise a family.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the call. Look, I went to University of Miami. God blessed me and gave me a college scholarship. Right now, the average tuition is almost $60,000 a year. To go to that school like that, you're in such debt. So everybody can't do that. Everyone doesn't get those blessings. And if you're able to, learn a trade, learn a vocation, learn something that you can work with your hands, use your mind, work in our country, that's the whole premise of what we've been working at for the couple hundred years that our country's been one of the top countries in the world.
Yeah. Bernie, if you could call us later on this week, I'd sure love to talk a little NFL
draft. I'll talk to you during the week about the football stuff, all right? Here's Josh.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you. Bernie Kosar.
I thought you wanted to say hi to Bernie.
You almost knocked my socks off there, Josh. That's the last person I expected to be on the phone line,
I tell you, when I was a little kid, I was probably 9 or 10 years old, I won one of those punt, pass, and kick competitions or something like that as a little Pee-wee football player. I used to play Pee-wee football at Euclid Central Junior High. It was called the Northeast Football League, and won some contest and got to go meet my hero, Bernie Kosar, and got to go to a Browns practice. And I still have this picture hanging up in my house of me as a 9 or 10-year-old with Bernie, and a combination of my father wearing number 19 when he was a quarterback at Brush High School, and Bernie wearing it for the Browns when I was growing up, made me wear it when I was playing ball during high school.
Time flies, Josh, doesn't it?
It flies. I'm 34 now. I still look like I'm 19, though.
Yeah. All right, Josh, I'll let the last question, and then we'll get to where you are tonight. In your eyes, I would imagine you got a hell of a shot to beat Sherrod Brown for United States Senator?
We're going to win this fall. We're going to beat Sherrod Brown because people are looking for a new breed of leaders in Washington. What we like to say throughout the Cleveland area and throughout the state is in order to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. And I think people are looking for a new generation to step up to take our state and our country in a much better direction. And the day that I go to Washington and some guy who's been there for 30 years tries to put his hand on my shoulder and says, son, you better vote for this legislation or else I'm going to kick you off your committee, or son, you better vote for this legislation or else I'm going to punish you in the newspaper or something like that, I'll look him squarely in the eye and tell him, listen, you don't direct me, you don't intimidate me. I don't work for you. My boss is 11.5 million people in the state of Ohio. You can't push me around. I've been through tougher stuff than this.
Josh, where are you going to be tonight?
Tonight we're going to be with Chris Christie from the great state of New Jersey, right here in Mayfield Village. So anyone who wants to come, you can go to our website at joshmandel.com and see the details. Again, joshmandel.com, or you can just show up at 7 o'clock tonight at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mayfield Village. It's right off Wilson Mills, the exit there off 271, and we'd love to have you there.